In this video, we're going to look at simplifying sums and differences of radical expressions. So basically what the idea is, we're going to compare this to if I had something like 5x plus 3x minus 7y plus 2y. These are four terms here, but the terms are different. We learned this in 6th or 7th grade where we add common like expressions. So this like terms here. These two have y's in them as their expression, and these have x's, so that would be 5 plus 3 is 8x, and negative 7 plus 2 is negative 5y. It's the same principle here, but we're going to, instead of having x's and y's, we're going to have square roots. So for this one here, we look at these, and there's three terms. Terms are separated by pluses or minus signs. So there's a term here, there's a term here, and there's a term here. And all three of these have square root of 7. In them, and so basically these are all what we would call like terms. So we add the coefficients, and the coefficient here is an imaginary 1. So 1 plus 5 is 6. 6 minus 3 is 3. So the answer would be 3 square root of 7, and that's it. That's all we have to do for that. These don't take very long when they're like this. But sometimes they're looking a little bit different like this. So this one, our first thought is 18, 32, and 8 are all different numbers, so we can't do it. But before we move on, we want to try to simplify each of the expressions. So the square root of 18, if I break down 18, 18 is 2 times 9, which is 3 times 3. So this becomes 2 times the square root of 2 times 3 times 3, and this 3 will come out. So that becomes 2 times 3, which is 6 square root of 2. That's what this term is. Now the square root of 32, I break down 32 like this. 2 times 16, 2 times 8, 2 times 4, and then 2 times 2. And that's what this is, 32, which is 2 to the 5th. So that becomes 3 times the square root of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And square root, I circle groups of 2. These guys come out, and these guys come out. So one gets crossed off, the other one comes out. So that's going to be 3 times 2 times 2. And what's left is the square root of 2. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. So that's going to be plus 12 times the square root of 2. And then the last one, square root of 8. 8 is 2 times 2 times 2. And these guys come out. So then that becomes minus 2 square root of 2. And now what I've done is transform the new problem into an old problem like the one before. And now all these terms have square root of 2, so I simply add or combine the coefficients. 6 plus 12 is 18. 18 minus 2 is 16 square root of 2. And that's what our final answer is to that one. The next one, we got some bigger numbers in, that's all right. 375, we have to break down. Again, these are cube roots now, so it's a little different, but as long as they're all cube roots and the same numbers underneath, we would consider them like radicals, so we can combine them. So 375, I got to break that down. There's a couple of ways we can do that. One, well, if I know it ends in a 5, then I know it divides by 5. So I can say 375 divided by 5 is 125. Oh, no, I'm sorry, 5 times. Oh, no, I didn't do it right. Hold on. Let me back that up. I didn't do by 5, I did by 3. This would be 3 times. I can do this 3 times 125. That's what I meant to say. Sorry. And then 5 times 25. And then 5 times 5. So this becomes 2 times the cube root of 3 times 5 times 5 times 5. And remember groups of 3 here. So I do groups of 3, and then these guys will come together and come out. And I'll have 2 times 5 times cube root of 3, which is 10 cube root of 3. That's what this term is. 81 That's going to be 3 times 27. That's going to be 3 times 9. That's going to be 3 times 9. Some of you would have said 9 times 9, and that's 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. So that becomes the same thing. 2 times the cube root of 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. Again, 3 at a time, so I do this. These guys will cancel out, and 1 will come out front. So I have 2 times 3 times the cube root of 3, which is plus 6 cube root of 3. That's the cube root over here, sorry about that. And this one here is already as cube root of 3, so it's minus 5 times the cube root of 3. Can't be simplified anymore. And now they all have cube root of 3s. I combine like terms. 10 plus 6 is 16. 16 minus 5 is 11 times the cube root of 3. And that will be my final answer to that one. And now the last one, we have 4 terms. None of them have the same numbers under the radical symbols, but we can simplify. 40, I can break down 40. I can do it a couple of ways. I can do 2 times 20, which is 2 times 10, which is 2 times 5. So that becomes 2 times the square root of 2 times 2 times 2 times 5. Groups of 2. So these guys are going to come out. That's going to give me 2 times 2 times the square root of 2 times 5, or 4 times the square root of 10. That's the first term. 75 can be broken down to be 3 times 25 and 5 times 5. So that's 5. So this will be, I'll do this right up here. 3 square root of 75, but 75 is 3 times 5 times 5. So 5 comes out. And cross off. So that becomes 3 times 5 times the square root of 3. So that's going to be minus, let me go back to red. Minus 15 square root of 3, and now 4 root 12. 12 breaks down to be 2 times 6, which is 2 times 3. So that's going to be minus 4, and then it's going to be square root of 2 times 2 times 3. This 2 comes out. So that's going to be minus 4 times 2 times square root of 3, or minus 8 square root of 3. And then 250. Anytime something ends in a 10, it's easy to just break it down into 10 times something. Ends in a 0, we need 10 times something. This would be 2 times 5 here. And this would be 5 times 5. Sorry about the writing there. So that becomes the square root of 2 times 5 times 5 times 5. Okay, there's a group of 2 right here. That'll come out, one of them. So I'm going to have this to be plus 5 square root of 2 times 5 is 10. And now what I look at, I have basically 4 terms, but some of them are like, some aren't. So I look at this and say, these 2 have square roots of 10, so I combine those coefficients. 4 plus 5 is 9 square root of 10. And then these 2 have square root of 3s, so negative 15 minus 8 is negative 23 square root of 3, and that's how we leave the final answer to that one.